Hello everyone and welcome back to the Epic Frodo YouTube channel. My name is Will and today I'm joined by Jack.
Hello there.
And we're kicking off our MCU universe commentaries with 2008's Iron Man. So if you want to sync along with your copy at home, put your timestamp to 0. All set to 0, Jack. And press play. Let me make sure my volume's up. And press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
You go.
Wait, is this a DreamWorks? Like a Paramount intro.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. The thing is,
Yeah.
I've watched this film, but I just haven't. I can't remember anything about. I know remember some of the old ones, but
God, I'm
are we doing this video like a normal video?
just like a commentary. So because we've both seen it, we don't need to kind of pay more attention to the dialogue, but obviously, like you can. So it's kind of a mixture between the two. Kind of imagine.
No, but I mean, like, is it going to be a video of our faces?
Like the Star
Yeah,
Wars
good. I
ones.
didn't know what you meant by commentary.
It's gonna be like the Star Wars ones. So I'm very intrigued.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go. Straight into it. This is the film that introduced me to AC/DC.
Is it actually?
Yeah. Well, I was.
Oh god.
So I was.
Oh yeah, you were like 5.
5. I was 11 years. This film came out in 2008. I was 11 years old.
Sorry.
So I was 11 years old when this film came out. I saw it in the cinema. So I'm peak age for this film when it came out, and I loved it.
Peak age. I think they got a massive contract for this. AC/DC made so much money off this.
They did all 3, didn't they? So I remember every time an Iron Man film came out, AC/DC would release an album.
Yeah, it would be. Because they had the Back in Black one with Iron Man
2.
3.
They had Iron Man 3, I think. No, Iron Man 2, I think, was a proper album. AC/DC one for Iron Man.
Yeah. Here he is, Stark.
So straight up a kid's film, you got a joke, like an incredibly inappropriate joke, but it's just perfect.
Yeah.
What do you think? So Robert Downey Jr., at this point in his career, it wasn't going very well for him. Like, he'd been like arrested. This is his second coming. Like, and it was a big risk. Like, this whole film was
He
a
had a
big
bad
risk.
drug problem, didn't they?
Like that line, "Be have a job with peace."
Yeah. Oh!
So, in the original Iron Man, he's meant to be in Vietnam. And obviously, because it's 2008,
Oh, really?
they've updated it to like Afghanistan or wherever they are. And it's so good.
I think this would be the
Oh,
first one where you're more fact thingy than me, especially with horrors. I can't remember any of this. This is like a first time raw reaction, guys. Oh,
so it's gonna
Saving
be
Private Ryan, shell shock.
like this one. It's gonna be so weird watching this one after the events of like Endgame, where it's all like space and time travel. Like this one's so grounded compared to all the others.
Yeah, and this is sort of it's more setting up Tony's character. Like, picture like how he develops throughout it. Like, he's never had conflict like this before. You know, he's just sort of a philanthropist. He's almost like Bruce Wayne a little bit, isn't he? Like at this point, like without having the Batman side.
He's, yeah, I guess billionaire playboys, yeah. Except that's his actual character, whereas Bruce Wayne, that's his made up character to protect himself.
Yeah.
But this whole film was a whole risk. Like, Marvel Studios at this time just like didn't exist basically, and it was Marvel Comics was about to just go under. They had like so many debts. That's why Fantastic Four belongs to a different studio. Spider-Man belongs to Sony. They were just selling everything off, and this was a huge gamble, and it just paid off massively. I mean, look at it now. It's insane.
I know. It's insane now. That's all it takes is that one that wasn't necessarily just this film, but the collective starting up and all of them, especially like the Avengers film. I can't remember how much that grossed. That's still one of the highest grossing films in some countries, I think, the first Avengers film.
You could argue that this is the most important film ever. Because the Marvel MCU now is the biggest grossing franchise ever. And it all started from this.
Oh, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. Bald Jeff Bridges.
Obadiah.
He's so good. Obadiah Stane.
He's Ironmonger, isn't he? Yeah.
Always so used to him being like, I'm the dude, man. Just chill out, bro. So did you see this film in the cinema as well?
I think I did. I can't even remember. I honestly can't. I love Marvel films. There's specific ones, like I said, the first Captain America I love, but I can't remember anything about them.
So you could say that this is your first time watching this in how long? 10 years?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't watched this again. So that we'll get the first time raw reaction title in there as well.
There's what's that actor's name? Terrence Howard, I want to say.
Yeah.
He's just gone. That's meant to be War Machine. Like, after in Iron Man 2, he's just replaced with Don Cheadle and just completely forgotten about.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
I liked him in this, though.
Obadiah's going to come up.
I am the dude, man.
I like to be behind the scenes of seeing their thinking of that, because I think he was quite good in this. Why they replaced him?
Don't know.
It's probably something stupid, like he was like, this is probably not going anywhere. Marvel's pretty dead, isn't it? Like, he's probably had another opportunity come up and he was like, nah.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say Jeff Bridges is one of the best things about this film. But he's kind of lucky in that this was the first film, because a lot of Marvel films after this suffer the same issues where the good guy fights himself, but bad, if that makes sense. Like, he just fights another Iron Man. I don't know. Captain America fights another Captain America in Red Skull.
Yeah.
Killmonger and Black Panther just fights Killmonger, which is himself, basically. And this is a lot in all the films.
They're exactly the same. They just grew up in different lifestyles. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is.
There's other ones as well. Ant-Man just fights another Ant-Man in Ant-Man 1. And that's the issue with the Marvel. But because this was the first one, I can't get away. Look how skinny Jon Favreau is.
I know. He started getting that Marvel money then and started eating those burgers.
I would say Jon Favreau, he is the guy. Like, he's the dude, man. None of this would be possible without him, essentially, which is crazy.
Is he fun? Was he pushing Mandalorian as well, wasn't he? He made that Mandalorian as well, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Pretty sure he did, yeah. He's done a lot of big projects.
But this could be career ending for Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau and everyone.
Yeah, it's like with any of these, like not even necessarily big franchises, just like projects, like you said, from specific companies. They're either it's not gonna work, and you're gonna get blacklisted, and they'll be like, "Oh God, you were that guy in that Iron Man film," or it's gonna just globalise the world and like the market through toys. Same with Star Wars.
Well, I didn't even realise that this was like they were starting a series, because by the time this film came out, the superhero films were Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four films, and the X-Men films, and they'd always been separate. They never came together. And this was and by the time, I think it was when the Avengers was about to come out, I didn't put it together and realise that it was a universe. I just thought they were all separate films.
Yes. Yeah. And they already had this planned, obviously. Oh, God. You after editing.
Here's Paul
Vision.
Bettany. Yeah, Vision.
Yeah.
He's been in it since day one.
He had that with that story I told you about, didn't I?
That was for Age of Ultron, I think.
Yeah, when he basically was getting blacklisted, and then Jon Favreau and the team rung him up and was like, "Your vision," basically. And his career was like over at that point. No one was picking him up for work.
This is the epic Frodo mansion that we're gonna have.
That's your attire. You're wearing the same colour now.
This is a Roma shirt.
It's just that's literally you're wearing that. Stand up.
No.
No.
Apparently, Paul
We're gonna have
Bettany.
that kind of type of tech.
Yeah. Paul Bettany says this was the easiest job he ever did. The film was over. He just went into a recording booth for 2 hours and just recorded his lines, and it was done. And just cashed his check. There's Gwyneth Paltrow. She's so... Credit to her, such a good actor, because apparently she has quite like a... She has that strange, like, was it Goop, that personal business that she does, which is like really weird, like items and things and health products and stuff like that. But she comes across as like really likable in this.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised when people say she's quite a unique character in real life.
Yeah.
I think Dark Knight came out the same year as this, so you can see, as so Batman Begins would have come out before, you can see they're really going for that realistic look first.
Yes. Oh, we need to do the Batman series, Will. I can't wait to do that.
You can jump on them. My friends want to do those, but you can jump on them as well, because they're long films, so they're going to need more than 2 people. I remember hearing that the hardest, because this was made on a small budget compared to the new ones, the hardest part was convincingly portraying his billionaire lifestyle, because they have to afford to get these cars. It's like Tony Stark doesn't just drive an expensive car, he drives the most expensive car. He doesn't just have a private jet, he has the most expensive private jet.
Yeah.
So a lot of their budget went into getting all these crazy stuff for him.
You probably do like not almost like a GoFundMe thing where like you probably get other billionaires and millionaires to donate. We'll look at like an Iron Man 2, like Elon Musk is in that, isn't he? Like,
is he?
Do you not remember that bit?
I haven't seen Iron Man 2 I watched it once.
Oh, when they go to the racing.
You have to point
remember
him
the
out to me.
Formula 1 where you first meet Whiplash? He's one of the guys there, and he's sitting there and he talks to him for quite a bit in it.
Oh, you have to show me that bit.
Yeah, and he's there like, he's like, in that face.
Oh yeah.
They would be lovers.
It is so, like, I'd love to watch this one and just watch Endgame straight afterwards. Because I can't think, there's not much CGI. There is a lot of CGI in this, but it's not like entire sets of green. Like the cave is practical. This first suit is real.
It's quite practical. Yeah, the Mark 1's real.
I think he's pretty good as Rhodes. As Rhodey. Terrence Howard. I quite like him in it.
Yeah, there was obviously something behind the scenes.
See, this is like
with that. I don't know.
This plane. They were like, that's the most expensive plane. Like he doesn't have a private jet. He has an Airbus, and
hot towel. I've never understood that on a plane. Hot towel. I just don't know why. Like,
it's apparently refreshing.
A little hot towel. Like, I don't know. It's always something that just makes me shiver a little bit. I don't know why.
Probably make you pass out. Too hot.
Oh.
Yeah, they waterboard you. Oh, I love this bit.
Waterboard me. What's the YouTube password? I'm there like, oh.
They portray his lifestyle so well that you're just sold instantly. That he is just the... and he's got that in his plate, a pole, and it comes out of the floor. The thing is that this Tony Stark in this one, I can't really see him in the Endgame one. Because unless he's obviously...
he's not.
He's like a family man in the Endgame one, and in this one he's still...
Yeah,
Whereas the cave is they've turned it up to 11 in this part because in the cave is when he learns about changing the world and being nice.
I thought that was Stan Lee then. Yeah, no, it's exactly. I think even after like Iron Man 2 or 3, he stops being like that.
Well, in Iron Man 3, the whole point of it was to sort of like let go of the suits and be the hero in you, but he then still has like 10 million suits in like Avengers 2 and
the whole one is just the suits, isn't it? Like millions. So Dad did it.
It is very anti-war, this film, isn't it? It doesn't glorify it.
No. I can't even remember any of this.
There's a shot coming up which is just like used everywhere for the promotional stuff. This bit right now. God, it's like when Sauron got killed.
You know, the elves on that like head banging, like, you know. To peace.
Look at that phone.
Obi there.
That 2008 phone. And then, like, the later Marvel movies, he's got like a see-through telephone and stuff. It's crazy just watching this. Back in black. It is like some kind of a horror film, this bit, isn't it?
Yeah. A Hostel.
What they called the 12 Rings or something like that, the terrorist group.
Me after fainting. Yeah.
Oh, I hate the bit when he pulls out his nose.
Oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like the noodle coming out of his nose.
Yeah, look. Oh. Oh.
Can't even look at that.
Look at your face. That's the most disgusting part of any Marvel film.
Faint. Let's get it on camera. That'll get us some views. I'm just like, oh. Oh, God, that's really freaked me out. That's horrible.
I really like this character. The guy in the cave with him. What's his name? Oh, God, what's his name? But, yeah, it would have been cool if they like made like later references to him, because he's basically the one that starts this whole thing for Tony Stark. He saves his life. He builds the reactor in his chest.
Reactor, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I need to remember his name. I think he says it. Like, it would have been cool if, like, yeah, just to have some later references to him. And, like, even an Endgame and things like that.
Is that a British accent?
No.
Can't even tell what it is yet. Take a look. German?
I think it's just like a Middle Eastern accent with English, speaking English. Even though I watched this one and I loved it, was interested in watching Captain America and Thor when they came out. I don't know why. I think I was just like, and then I didn't even get into the MCU. I love this. I love the Iron Man film, the first one. This is my favourite, probably one of my favourite films. But I just was not interested in watching the other ones until it became like, Phase 2. Really, until Phase 2 even started. Did I start getting really into it?
I like the first Captain America. I don't think you like it as much, but I really like that one. I don't know why. the whole setup to it as well about him becoming Captain America as well when he's that little skinny guy.
Yeah. I even had the game on PSP for Iron Man. It was really good.
Build us some weapons.
It is cool how you're getting the perspective of another person on a weapons dealer who thinks he's just delivering peace. Like, even the scale of the film, like the biggest threat right now is he just has to build a missile, and then later on it's the Infinity Gauntlet.
Straight in the water bath. In the wash. I see that one cut, that guy's face, and he's like...
It's even like films, like an indie film.
Yeah. Oh, like a music beat. Dum, 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 drums in the deep.
Oh. The thing is, because that guy saved his life, he wasn't there. They would have kidnapped Tony Stark, but he would have died. They would have been like, "Oh, now what?"
Exactly. All the goodies.
It is a very 2008 film. So when you think of like the beginning of the series, like what are your thoughts? Which ones do you prefer? These sort of grounded, smaller scale films, or do you prefer the big ones at the end, like the huge team up ones?
They have their place, I think, and I think you need to watch it in the right time or like when in the right mood. Like you want to watch a massive sort of action one, smashing like galaxies and space travel. Those ones are quite good. But when you want to watch something which does have some action in it, but is a bit more character driven, I think these ones are good. And I prefer these ones, I think. Like I said, I like the first Captain America, and the mixes then, as it goes to phase 2, they stay like that. Like Winter Soldier, I think that's got a good mix of like real extreme action, and then, like I like 50-50 with it. And you said the last one's got a bit, but it's mainly just unbelievable special effects.
Well, you need these films to have the team up films, like the DC. They did Man of Steel, and then Batman vs Superman, and it was kind of like I don't know this Batman, I don't know Wonder Woman, and it wasn't that good. And even in 2008, we had never had like a superhero team up film before. They were all you had the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, but they are always together. Yeah. And even Iron Man.
No, I know what you're saying.
Iron Man wasn't even like a popular guy. Like he was like a B-list Avenger at this time, especially in the 90s. He wasn't like Captain America or Hulk, who were huge. It was just I don't know why, but they went with this one, and he's arguably the most popular one out of all of them now. Yeah,
he is. I think if you say it the Avengers, you'd probably have he would be, most people would say Iron Man.
Well, he's like the leader, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Like Stark Enterprise, isn't it? That's what everything they use, yeah.
Him and Captain America. So
one thing I don't understand with, obviously...
Gone.
We're both at the thing like gone. With his reactor, surely like when he gets home and like his technology gets ridiculous, so they can even time travel, they should be able to fix that.
I think they do.
Like how good his technology gets. No, he always has to have it, doesn't he?
He changed. I think in the third Iron Man film, he takes it out and he just installs something in the... That just
he makes it so he always has to it barely it's rechargeable, so like he barely notices it. But I thought he would be able to fix it.
Yeah, but he charges his suit, doesn't it, as well?
Oh, there you go. They're watching him as well.
And he gets right into it, this film. It's like straight into it. He's kidnapped. A little bit of backstory on him, which is funny, and then it's straight into just building this suit. And he's in the suit within like the first hour.
Yeah.
It's not like like Batman Begins. It's like a long time before you see him in the Batman suit. But I still love that film. But if you get what I mean, like,
oh, Batman Begins is so good. I love Scarecrow.
Yinsen.
Cillian Murphy's so good in that.
His name's Yinsen.
That's
Yinsen. So I wanted some more references to Yinsen towards the later films, because he is a crucial character in the creation of Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I feel like a scene like this, like in the later films, it just wouldn't work because it's too boring in comparison to all the extravaganza and stuff blowing up.
Yeah, it is cool. That's what I meant. But as those phases went on, it sort of it did sort of way become about selling toys, games, and like for the kids a little bit, like just how explosive and action packed it was.
And this scene,
like I said, like we're watching Winter Soldier and that, and WandaVision at the moment. I don't think they're for kids at all. Like, you know, like the way they even set up, it's more of a mature audience it's moving to. This is what this was like as well, I think.
If you think about it, I was 11 when I watched this, and now I'm 23. So ideally, these films were made for our generation of 11, like 9 to 14-year-olds, and now we're older. Like, if it was still like a kiddie thing, like the cartoons we used to watch when we were younger, which are still good. I don't know if it'd be as successful. So you kind of need to grow these with your audiences.
Yeah.
But even then, I feel like this is heavily influenced by the success of the Batman films. Batman Begins, with how grounded it was.
Yeah.
But in order for it to develop and grow, you can't have a grounded universe with 4 in. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I also get what you mean with that as well. Like you want to try and make it as real as possible. Then, as you said, like in the Falcon Winter Soldier, they do that bit. They're like, is it these baddies or is it wizards? Like, because they've got like magic in it now. It's sort of, you have to try and keep it grounded, but in a way, it never can be.
No, I think they decided that because grounded is fun, but the Marvel, there's just so many great characters who are like cosmic, like Doctor Strange, and you can't do that in a realistic world. And I think they decided they made that decision.
Cosmic. Yeah.
It was a good decision to make. That's a good line. You're a man who has everything and nothing.
Yeah. It's really well written, this one. Already it's had some good lines in it. As I said, if we had peace, you'd have no job. It's another good one. Oh, so that's their checks done.
Yeah.
I'll joke aside with that. You'd have them just people in the room. They would not even let them sleep probably. And they're just like,
yeah,
it's all right. A lot of my criticisms would lead to him being obviously killed, so this film wouldn't exist. But I get they've got to do that, but they could have done that a little bit better. I can remember the suit in this first bit. It's really cool.
It's so cool. I think they said like it weighs something like 100 pounds. So the stunt people really had to exaggerate their movements, otherwise it just doesn't come out on camera. So and I think Robert Downey Jr. said he wore it for a day, like a few hours, and he was just gone the next few days, just dead.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So you don't remember what happens in this film at all, really? You know the basic plot points, but...
Yeah, I know a bit of the ending as well. I can remember some of the ending. I know, like, who the fight is between. Uh-oh. He saw his leg. It'd be like, "Itch is the missile." And they just, like, build it into him.
It's a leg. I like this character, this villain. I wish they kind of had him in more. Because I'm pretty sure he just kills him when he leaves the cave.
Oh, he doesn't die here.
Oh no, not this
You know,
one.
I can remember that bit.
When he leaves, like the whole thing, he's in the Mark One suit. I'm pretty sure he just like kills him,
No, I don't think he does.
doesn't
I
he?
think he's later on in there. He does get killed.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure Obadiah puts something on his ear or something and then kills him.
Obba Dobba.
Obadiah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, yeah.
Can remember that bits with that and Iron. What am I saying? Iron Obadiah, Ironmonger. He's called. Isn't he? That's Iron. Imagine that. It's like, who are you? He's like, I'm Obadiah.
Sounds like a Bill and Ben character.
Yeah, work it.
He has a very tragic backstory, Yinsen.
See?
Yeah. And then it's what he's saying when he's dying is very, very moving.
I don't even remember if he died. Spoilers. That's that guy said in that video. Did you see that comment that guy put? He's like, that guy on the left needs to chill with the spoilers.
You didn't say any spoilers though. I don't know which one.
I know. That's what I said to you. I just laughed about stuff like people who just moan for the sake of moaning.
I don't even know what spoilers you said. You just used to say, like, if
I didn't
I
say
missed
any.
something, you'd point it out to me.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what he's talking about. I don't know. Look at one guy. Don't you do that.
Like, even when I saw this when I was 11, I just can't even, like, my head just couldn't fathom the fact that how it, like, if you told me what it'd be like, showed me how much it's just developed into this huge universe. Well, I don't think my head could just get, I just couldn't get my head around the idea of how just insane it is now.
A perfect example is Bitcoin. When I told you, didn't I, that bloke from my work about 5 or 6 years ago, ages ago, when it wasn't even kicked off, or when it was, and he was like, I've already put like £500 into it, and he's got like, can't remember, like 40 or 50, which I don't know. I don't even want to work out how much that
That's
is
about
now.
£5 million.
Each one's about 30 grand in it.
That is a good analogy to have,
So
actually.
he's obviously a millionaire.
That's a good analogy, Jack. The MCU is very much like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And if you explained it to people in like 2008, like what this film is going to lead up to, everyone would be like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, what? Some weird guy in a suit, and it's going to be like the biggest, highest grossing film ever, and all these massive toy franchises. You'd be like, what?
And all those characters are going to be in it.
Yeah. You know, just having like Killmonger, those like legendary characters. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know who Iron Man was when this film came out. So look, it's only been half an hour, and already we're like, he's just escaping the cave,
Yeah.
getting in the suit and getting ready to go.
Go. I remember they got like flamethrower gauntlets.
I love how they start like panicking.
Speak Hungarian.
Yeah. It's like, right, fine, I'll just do it off the whim.
Bomb.
Oh. If that was like
Peppered.
if that happened in Endgame, the whole thing would have exploded and like
Yeah, but like Thanos would just appear through like inevitable
spaceships.
Just like pick someone up and snap their spine.
Although we're saying how we couldn't imagine it's develop it into a whole universe, we can now, and it's believable. Like, it is believable at the end of Iron Man fighting Thanos. They did so well building the whole thing.
We're gonna have to just do all the Marvel films as well. I can't wait to do the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's gonna be and all those ones. So, what does he say? Bully Maguire's the best one from 3, isn't he? Gonna cry?
Now dig on this. Boom. No, Yinsen, don't go.
Oh,
You're the best.
the rounds down.
He's the second best character in this. Actually, no, he's the third best character in this film. Yinsen goes Iron Man, Jeff Bridges, then Yinsen.
Oh man, shit.
Look at him. Imagine if they brought Yinsen back in Endgame. He came through a portal, just running through with a gun like that. Thanos would retreat.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh god, I love this. Just the dark. The first time seeing any superhero in the MCU. Is the guy on the right Tom Morello from?
Yinsen though.
I'm pretty
He's
sure
the biggest superhero.
Oh, yes. I think the guy on the right is Tom Morello, isn't it? That guy from Rage Against the Machine. I swear it is.
Sure. Darkness is your ally. I was murdered by.
Oh, perfect.
What?
This is such a trope though with like the early superhero films. You don't see him doing anything until the end.
You just see like,
Yeah.
so like moving around the background.
You get little flashes though.
Oh!
Look at that, how good that looks, and it's all real.
Oh,
And you see the stills of like the later films, and it's just someone in the green suit.
oh no.
God, it just looks so much better real.
It's exactly like you know that big robot. What's it called? I can't remember that
Iron
massive
Giant.
robot. It was Iron Giant. Yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Oh,
And it's believable as well that he built that in a cave.
yeah. Oh, it goes.
They just left this guy in there. It's like Rogue One.
Get this through to them, passing the little thing.
Take it. Oh. And it's terrifying as well. Like, that is genuinely scary.
They're like, hold. Hold.
Oh, that guy got clattered by the door.
Oh.
Oh, this bit's so good. Brilliant. Still, they've set the tone for
That's
the film.
so good.
Like, that's pretty brutal for a... I think this was a 12. Oh, this is such a sad scene. Oh, a quick reload. Yeah, he does kill him, doesn't he? Look. Or does he climb out of the cave, like all burnt? Yeah, he's got the scar down his face.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. You had noob. You did not know that.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, sad. See, it's such a great character, yet there's just no reference to him afterwards.
Yeah, it's because they were like the sell toys.
I imagine like
Don't forget about that.
the big shield carrier was called like Yinsen 5.
But then it's it's just his whole face, the ship. It's just riding in on Yinsen. He just Iron Man 3, the little boy, he's at the end of Endgame, so
Yeah.
they go back to the
Yeah,
films.
but they just ignore Yinsen.
They should have had Yinsen there as well.
He's
They should have had
dead,
Yinsen there, like Paimon. You know, they stuffed him at the end
Oh,
of
yeah.
Hereditary. You know, and he's there like that, like the arms up like that.
though. So there is... Is this real, this bit? Yeah, that's real. I mean, like...
Do you mean it's real?
I thought it could be like a CGI
Oh,
thing.
I thought you meant they
No,
put
no.
a guy in the suit and they were like, shoot him, but don't try and hit through like the plates of armour.
That's real. There is a little bit of CGI. Well, I say a little bit. There's some CGI on the flames, but
Yeah,
they did get a fully
there
working flamethrower.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh.
cool. Now
They got a
imagine...
Hot Toy. Have you heard of Hot Toys figures? So they're like, you know them, don't you? The
Yeah.
1/6 scale ones. They've got ones of that, and it looks
cool.
absolutely immense. And they've got like the Hot Toys. They've got like
Oh,
they're
yeah,
really
50
like
cal.
well made. They've got like little lights in it and specific like gears that turn on it. Oh,
50 cal.
oh,
And I'm pretty sure this is just
What
a
bit are you
valley.
on?
He just got his gears shot off. He's getting peppered. Explosion. Flame.
just shot an RPG, yeah.
That's CGI, but not complaining.
Oh, explosions. That's real.
And then like it just doesn't work. Like his first flight. And the whole suit just gets destroyed.
Die from that.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that would have killed him. So he's like buried in the sand, so surely he would have got in leg first. Which
Reminds me of Scorpion King. You know, the little his
Oh,
next guy, he's like, like trying to eat the little scorpion. It is, isn't it?
I didn't realise just how quick that whole cave sequence was. I thought that was quite a long part of the film. But that's
Yeah.
wasn't that long. And you're straight into Iron Man.
No. This was probably filmed like Burning Man Festival. You know, they do all these shots in the desert in like, you know, like Las
Nevada or
Vegas
somewhere,
and stuff.
yeah. It's just he just stumbles across Coachella. How lucky is he that they just flew right over him? And how come he didn't even hear
I
them
know.
coming?
Plot armor.
And it's roads as well.
Line him up.
Apparently he's got like his own religion above himself, or his own ideology. Terrence Howard, or
See?
I hope his name's Terrence Howard. I've been calling him Terrence Howard for the past 50 minutes, but
Is that going to be the channel as well? We'll have our own religious cult and we're going to be like Jonestown.
Frodoism.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Tony Stark really does have a rough time in these films. Like he's always being battered and bruised and broken, and then in the end killed.
I think that's in the end game, isn't it? She's like, you can rest now. I think that's a reference to just having the crap beaten out of him.
This is from this moment.
Look at us on my hand and your knee. We're just like broken. We're just there, like we're sitting at end game. They're like, you can rest now, Will. Your knee. You're like, oh, thank you.
That's me when I finished the last video of the channel. Wonder why his name's Happy.
I think it's because he's just not happy. I think it's just because it's the play on it. He's just like,
He's grumpy.
yeah.
Hogan. Okay, brother, where you want to go, brother?
See you, brother. You see Iron Man. I'm coming for you, brother.
I'm taking my Harley, brother.
Cut a promo to all these other YouTube channels. Will go on.
What did you say? Sorry.
To cut a promo to all those other YouTube channels and call them out.
Oh, I'm calling you out, brother. December 22nd.
I'm calling you out, David Dobrik. I see you, brother.
David Dobrik, December 27th, brother. I'm coming for you, dude. I'm gonna ride my black and white Harley Davidson straight into your house, brother.
Brother. I did brother the same time. Brother. Oh, there's Obadiah. Look at him. Yeah, but
Here you go. So this is your first character who...
look at Shield.
Your first... This is the first character you see, which shows this is part of a bigger thing.
Yeah, Shield.
Because if you... He said strategic, homeland, whatever it is. If you're like a casual fan, like
England.
I was... If you're a casual fan like I was, you wouldn't know what that is, but if you're a comic book fan, you know that's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
So if you saw this in 2008, you'd be like, oh, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s in it, which means Nick Fury's in it, which means all this other stuff's in it.
Yeah, if you're a fan. And then you're like, Hydra's in it.
Yeah. just from that one line. I really want a cheeseburger now.
Oh no.
See, now we've seen the Civil War, we know what happened to his dad. It was the Winter Soldier killed him.
Yeah.
So, just watching these old ones back and hearing lines like that, you're like, I know what happens. And it just, oh god, this is great. They've added so much more to these films now for the new ones, which is good.
Oh, even just watching that first bit of Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier, seeing his flashback as well, like him having PTSD, it's getting really deep into it. Not just, oh, look at this guy cool down, all that music. It's like actually showing his background.
Obadiah's like, no, the prophets. Think of the prophets. So this is the moment when Tony Stark becomes the real Tony Stark.
Yep.
He's such another Marvel trope, unfortunately. He is the corporate bad guy.
Hayward.
Yeah.
This is Hayward, Volume 1. Oh, look at that whip. I wish I had that.
You can tell this was made in 2008 because he's riding a Segway. No one rides a Segway.
I had a Segway.
What, a Swegway or a Segway?
A Swegway? Oh, I had the Swegway. The one without the handles.
Yeah, that's the Swegway. He is Elon Musk, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironmonger, and there's his name, first name.
Ironmongers.
His name is the baddie.
I think Jeff Bridges chose to shave his hair off for this. Because it does make him look a bit more intimidating, doesn't it? Because he's normally got like long blonde hair.
Yeah, well, the beard and the bald head combo is quite biker intimidating, isn't it?
And I've never seen him when he plays such like an intimidating character. He's always like I said, the dude. He's always plays like a chilled out, fun guy. Did you ever read any of the comics when you were younger?
No, I did a few years ago. I read what was it? I think it was Civil War. I read the Marvel one of Civil War.
The big graphic novel.
I don't know. I didn't like the comics so much. The graphic novel was it.
The comics, it's not something you can just jump into because you're like in issue 5058.
You have to go back and almost start.
Superman 1.
And it's got to be a re-release one because those original ones are worth thousands, aren't they? Like the mint condition first edition ones.
Because when I was younger, I was more into X-Men and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh god, here goes like the billow roll. It's Alex Jones. Gee, the frogs. They're trying to the frogs, okay? Stark Industries. Oh god. Oh god, I got deeper, Joe. Let's go, Joe. Literally is. Alpha Brain. It's running through me, Joe. Do you see that? The Nazi killer Stark.
Really? Oh, that's his dad, isn't it?
That's what he said.
This bit's quite gruesome as well. It's funny how this is the scene that shows that they got some kind of chemistry, and what it involves is her pulling it out of his chest. It's almost like real life operation. Ugh. Isn't that the original one that's then placed on that flower wreath at the end of Endgame?
Oh god.
Yeah, listen to the noise it makes and
And
everything.
she's got a ring on as well. I would take that off. Just...
I'm pretty sure there's like bits on it as well.
She's like that. She's like slurps it off like on the water. She's like a bit of protein on that.
Listen to the sound it makes.
Oh god, what's wrong with me? Well, we watched Terrifier. Literally, Art's up there right now. We watched that getting sorted up, and then it's all like, ooh, ooey gooey, ooh. Oh.
Yeah, look at her hand now. Oh. Look, it's like, don't pull it out or I'll die. God, I've always hated that bit. Just the gloop. Which, you know, the goop. That's probably how Gwyneth Paltrow got the name for our company.
The goop. Oh.
Yeah, I know.
She's just like that. Look, she's like.
Hear that? I don't have anyone else but you.
Yep. Cheers, Will.
Cheers. It'll be interesting to know if any comic fans out there watched this with all the knowledge they have of the MCU and kind of like all of the moments that happened, like the Avengers assembling for the first time, Thanos turning up, Civil War happening. If that was lost on you, if you already knew it, if that makes sense. Like, 'cause you said you read Civil War, when you saw the film, did you kind of knew what was going to happen? So did it not really have that much of an impact?
Yeah, it's sort of, you then know. You're like, oh. As I said, if someone was a mega fan watching this and they knew what was coming,
Yeah.
I don't think it would necessarily ruin it for you, but you'd just be like, nothing would really surprise you. It'd be interesting to know if they did change stuff for the movies, like, if anyone knows that. Do you know what I mean? They might have followed a narrative that the comics didn't, but I'm pretty sure they did. I'm not sure.
See, he's good as Rhodey.
Why did they replace him?
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Don Cheadle was still really good,
Yeah.
but I don't know why they replaced him.
How annoyed do you reckon Terrence Howard must be? Because it's like, I could have been in all of these films. I could have had a big paycheck every time. Like, Don Cheadle just turned up in a cameo in Winter Soldier. He probably got paid like $1 million for that 10-second scene.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that's going to be a cameo. I think he's going to be a bit more prevalent in that.
I can see that happening, yeah.
Like toy sales and stuff. Do you know what? I think they make such a killing because I don't think they keep the rights to the toy sales. Like some companies and like businesses, obviously. I think with Star Wars, I think they did. Like
Hasbro did Star
Bob
Wars.
Hamill and that, and like Harrison Ford, they took a percentage cut on certain films, which was they make more money than the films, don't they? The toys. So I think that happens, but I don't think any of these actors did. I don't think they would allow that to happen, to be honest, because that's millions and millions. On top of the millions, they probably got paid just to be in it.
Yeah. Even Paul Bettany turning up as Vision is crazy. Like, it really is just one of those things where it's like, he probably didn't even know that was going to happen.
I know.
You're going to looking for the goodies. This is like Star Wars, actually. They're on Tatooine.
So Jawa's grabbing all the thingy. I'm so indecisive. Look at all the horror stuff I've got. When I see like that, I want to buy that Mark 1 Hot Toys. That man, it's because it's like 12 inch, it's huge as well. Have all the lights. That's what I saw one on the Hot Toys. Is Whiplash's suit, and it's got the Mickey Rourke head sculpt. When
you're like got a secret for you. You're like, come here, Flash.
The Mickey Rourke Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Has his like head one with his head open, exposing it. You know, at the end bit with his whips, and they light up, and you're just like, oh god, that's so cool.
It is a really cool design, the Mark 1. One of my favourite ones is the one that is the all silver suit. When he hasn't done the red and gold.
Is that the Mark?
I say it's Mark 2, I think.
I think that's the Mark. Oh, no, they don't jump up like that. They jump to like that and then Mark 40 and then it's the Mark 48. Like, I think the way you see it in the screen, I think it's something like that. It's not...
I think it's this one he's
I think that's
now.
the Mark 40, number 2. Oh, yeah, it might be. Oh, I like this bit.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Wreck. You know, we watched Wreck.
Oh, yeah.
Top.
It was like a found footage horror film. Like the opening to a found footage horror. The way they filmed this though looks really cool. Like he was on like bungee jumps, but attached to his back, but also to his feet, so they could pull his feet in different directions.
Oh, was it?
And he had to kind of like stabilize himself. You'll see it when they do it. So it's on his shoulders, but also on his feet. Maybe not in that scene.
Imagine that.
Even that robot.
When fire extinguisher goes up straight on him.
Even that robot thing is like a character.
It's so
as
annoying,
well.
that slapstick comedy. It's so annoying, that slapstick comedy like that, because it is just funny, but you're like, oh god, that's such a cheap laugh, but it is funny.
It's just
like,
the
ow,
deadpan camera. That's cool as well. How you can just like design it on the holographic table and put your hand into it.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't like that, because a lot of needles, or I didn't like that. That made it feel like, oh. God, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I've always wondered what's like all this superheroes been doing before 2008. It was like, nah, we're not going to get involved in it. Obviously, yeah, Captain America, but he's on ice. What were all the others doing? But they're just like, nah.
He's on ice.
Yeah. They can't be bothered to do anything. Like, what's the
I think he explained it.
The magicians are obviously doing stuff. Like,
it's like Thor and Loki were in the thingy world as well. They were preoccupied. Frost giants and all stuff like that.
You've got the Sanctum Sanctorum, whoever it is, doing their bits. It's just a very good coincidence that Tony Stark, Hulk, Thor, and Captain America all decide to turn up at the same time.
Don't forget me.
Oh yeah, and you. It's almost like it was planned. It's almost like it's a make-believe universe. And Hawkeye. Yeah, that means Hawkeye and Black Widow are doing their stuff as well.
Because you were S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah. So she was... Well, this is what the new Black Widow film is going to show you.
Yeah.
Do you know who her sister is in? Oh, do you know who her sister is in that?
Yeah, Florence Pugh.
Yep.
Yep.
She's going to be there the whole time. Like,
Prediction, she's going to be the villain. Or die within the first 10 minutes. He's so unglamorous.
Pizza. I always want a... There's a pizza around our place called Milano's. Can't remember what... It's something like that. The boxes are like that. I've never seen another one where it's that big. You know, a big pie. They call it a big pie.
I do love how Tony Stark is just so grubby and... what is it? Just like like his lifestyle is just so scrubby. He's the complete opposite to Steve Rogers, which is why that dynamic works so well.
I love that fight scene in Winter Soldier. Civil War, sorry.
You keep getting them mixed
Civil
up.
War, where they're fighting each other.
Yes, this bit here.
Discombobulate, and it's like hits the side of the head.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the bit with the bungee. See, they're on like his feet as well.
Oh yeah.
That's what gives him that weird kind of like pushing down but pulling back at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Even that little robot hand has got like a character.
And then the sad robot.
Yeah, it's like a proper character in this as well. He's in number 2. Look at that car collection though. You know he's rich when he decides
Doesn't he
to
smash into one? I'm pretty sure he does.
You know he's rich because he decides to do his test launch next to his $1 million cars. It's like, what's your fault for doing it right next to them? Would you be brave enough to do that?
Don't know. You like roller coasters and that?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
It's like bungee jumping and doing extreme sports almost, isn't it? Like. Oh.
There's so much character just in a robot arm. This suit, this one here, this is my favourite one.
Yeah. I think you're right. This would be the Mark II. The other versions in like 2 and 3 are called like the Mark 40 because in that time it basically shows that he's made tons of them, especially the 3.
They say one of the uses for Jarvis was to fill in gaps in the story, just in case, like, enemy approaching, sir. And they forgot to, like, film a scene or something. I don't know if I'd want a Jarvis. It might get a bit annoying. As Jarvis, just leave me alone.
Especially having like a butler.
The guy
suit up.
who I was editing for, he got a phone call when we were just talking on Zoom. And it was Jarvis. It was like, incoming call, sir. Like his ringtone.
Does he like Marvel then?
Yeah. He's done commentaries to Spider-Man films. Like, not reaction videos, like proper commentary ones, like this one we're going to do.
Ah.
Yeah, look how good that one looks.
3, 2. Oh, he does look slick. Looks like Stephen Wolf.
Stephen Wolf?
Yeah.
Do you mean Steppenwolf?
You know that new armour he did for the Snyder Cut?
Do you mean Steppenwolf?
Did I say Stephen Wolf?
Stefan Wolf. Sounds like an actor. Stefan
That's
Wolf.
what it was.
Steppenwolf, yeah.
Still need to watch that.
Oh, it's really... I liked it. It was much, much, much better than the other one.
That's not hard though, is it?
No.
Get some ice cream.
That kid.
Oh. How could he do that to that poor child?
I like how it's like, I've just learned how to fly. The first thing I'm going to do is fly to space.
Yeah, it's just...
And it's so great at building tension from such small things. Like, you had like them trying to like knocking on the door saying, can you, like, we need to enter the cave, and then you got this just going up into space. Is Tony Stark going to die? You know, you're so like on the edge of your seat over such small things.
It's just, why would you do that though? That's what annoys me most. He's just like, I'm in the suit, first run.
Yeah.
I'm just going to kill myself.
He's testing the capabilities of it. I think that's what makes Tony Stark such an interesting character, because at this moment, he has nothing to live for. Like, he doesn't really care about his company. Yeah. He's the only person he has in his life is Pepper Potts. Like...
Peppa Pig? Yeah, I know. It's, Oh!
What's the Stan Lee cameo with this?
Cool.
Is that at the beginning, at the party?
Oh
yeah, because he calls him
I
Hugh.
already had it.
He's meant to be like Hugh Hefner.
I miss not seeing him in any event now. I haven't seen the cameos.
Yeah, it is. There we go. There's the robot arm. Is that real, that suit? It is, isn't it? Yeah. God, that looks really good.
Yeah.
See, I like this. I think the silver one's the best one. That's really cool. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is sad not seeing him in any of them. Yeah, that's the thing that she puts in the reef when he dies. When they put it on the river and it floats.
Oh yeah. I remember because is it Obadiah? He steals his one, doesn't he? And he grabs that one, I think.
Yeah. Because I think these are the 10 rings or something like that, which is like the Iron Man terrorist group, enemy group thing. And then in the third one, they come back with what's his name, the actor?
Killian.
No, the really famous one, Ben Kingsley, but he's the Mandarin, and he basically turns out to be an actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's like meant to be his thing. So a lot of people are quite annoyed.
Killian's the villain in that third one, isn't he?
Oh, well,
the guy who goes like red and like nights, yeah.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, see, got you.
Got you. I was talking about Ben Kingsley though, because that terrorist group is meant to be like the 10 rings as well. So everyone's like, oh, the Mandarin's gonna be in it, who's like Iron Man's main villain, and then when he turns up in number 3, everyone's like, oh, like that's not him.
Oh,
they made the biggest villain a joke. Jon Favreau said that he wanted a really boring English voice to do Jarvis. Imagine getting that phone call, just be like, cheers, thanks.
Sam would have been good for that.
It would like, Jarvis, did we get an invitation for that?
To discuss. That's still that bit. I can watch that and I'll cry at that still.
I like how he designs it like he's a superhero online character creator.
Oh, you hear that coming up? Da. You hear that bass coming up?
How much is that?
You hear Angus. You hear Angus come on the guitar, jumping around.
It is. That's probably the way I'd describe this. I'll wait till you finish doing your bottle.
Oh, sorry.
That is the way I'd describe this film. It's a very rock and roll film.
It is. You hear the scream. There's a girl like, ah!
I thought he was a good guy, Obadiah, to be honest.
Sure.
There is.
Oh, there you go.
It's not even the first one. Like, he's in like X-Men and Spider-Man. Excelsior. Because once after this film's done and you've had his friend, the main boss turns out to be the corporate bad guy, you kind of don't trust any corporate people after this, and you kind of you guess it every time. Like Sam Rockwell in the second one, Guy Pearce in the third one. It's all the same kind of thing.
He's like, oh, she didn't do it. I still like that part of it. It's a little bit like misogynist, the way like throughout this whole thing, and then he's like, oh, he sees her in a nice thingy dress, and then he's like, oh, I can see you now. He said, where you get that dress?
Yeah. Well, when do they get together? Is it end of this one?
I think they might kiss at the end of this one. Yeah, and then it sets up, and then they're definitely in a relationship with in the second one.
And then she's like a proper iron person. And Endgame, she's like a number 3.
She's gonna be like an Iron fan. Like she loves Iron.
I know.
Once you go Iron, you can never go back. Yeah, she's
What's the character's name? Iron.
What's the name of her suit?
I want to say Iron Lady.
I was say Parsnip.
Parsnip.
No, it's something weird like that. Peepeps or something weird like that. No, it's not. What am I doing? Stop me.
Somebody stop me.
I can't remember what.
Well, there you go, a little bit of chemistry there.
Yeah. The pet Sam when he's like that, watching Anakin and Finger, and he's like, that's honestly, that is brilliant.
Do you think she's always been jealous of him? I don't know if Pepper likes him at this point. I guess she does.
Like him.
Because she gave him the Tony Stark has a heart thing.
Yeah, I think she does start to like him.
Oh, there you go.
No, they don't kiss.
No, they don't.
No, it'll be towards the end.
Shaken.
Oh, you got there. You got a vodka martini there, Will.
Oh, yeah. Shaken, not stirred.
Just pure vodka.
Just spilt it all on me though.
Just like that, over your head, like Ringwood and oil.
Oh, it's her again.
Was that the atrocity they said? Mira, is that?
No, this is.
Oh, okay, no. I was before. I was thinking One Division. You know when he gets bombed, because they were young, and this is obviously a while. It might have been around the same time, mightn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, early 2000s.
They're not supposed to be young in Age of Ultron, aren't they? They're supposed to be like early, like late teens.
I was going to
like
say
18, 19, I think.
Like that would have been very good foreshadowing if they foreshadowed that in 2008. Even I was convinced then for a minute. I was like, what? But no, it's just the terrorist group using this stuff, isn't it? God, even as a seedy, backstabbing businessman, he's still incredibly likable.
You got your Hayward complex again.
Well, I just think Obadiah Stane is a much better
It's like a
character.
Stockholm syndrome. Do you remember you saw Hayward? It was literally like he just shot a kid, and you're like, there still might be some good in him here. We have to see. We have to keep watching.
There's still good in him. that was the cut-off point for me. I think. But it's because this is the first. Because the reason why I thought Hayward was a good character is because they'd done that storyline so many times. Like he's Obadiah Stane is the first one to do the businessman storyline, and I was just like, no, they can't.
They can't. And then when the kid was shot, you were like, "That's there. We got to stop there."
He did approach him. He did tell him to stop.
Don't do that. He wasn't in bad shape for this one, was he?
No, he said he got it really into shape for it. not as jacked as Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, no, that's what the thing is. Like, he just looks like he's got a little bit in shape, like he's done some weight training thing, and then if you go to like Thor, and he's just yoked.
Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth.
Just on ridiculous cycles.
Probably are allegedly on cycle. They have to be.
I think everyone in Hollywood is. For like how big in films when they get that big that quickly as well, especially for roles. You look at them like a few months after or before. Allegedly.
Here we go. This is the first proper suit up scene in the proper Iron Man gear.
Here we go. We had that Mark II you said you liked. That was a suit up.
It didn't have the colours though. It didn't
but you know what you mean. Like a raw suit up.
As in
original. And
then you get the superhero look in the face. And he's like, it's go time. I don't think he says that, but it's like that. Like Incredibles.
It just malfunctions and explodes.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're having all that done, what happens if the robots just break and like twist your arms and legs off and
spin backwards like he's like, oh! like a presentation for the suit as well. And he's just there like, and they're like, this is Iron Man.
Well, that's what happens in, is it Iron Man 2? They have like North Korea tried to make their own one, and the suit like bends backwards. And
what's the name of the group that hires Whiplash? The Boyd.
This is like they're just like showing some videos, and it's like a North Korean government
like the Ukrainians and the Chinese, Oh yeah, so is that guy okay? And then like the guy's like, probably. He's like, yeah, he's probably okay.
See, look how brutal this is for a kids' film. Like they're like killing civilians.
It's amazing.
And they line the dad up against a firing squad, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, I could not imagine this happening in the Marvel films that come out now.
Oh no.
See, look, they've got them all up against the wall.
Oh!
This part here reminds me of Call of Duty 4.
Oh! Oh, yeah.
See, look at this, like... It just would not happen. Like, you can imagine this happening in Josh Whedon's Avengers, or Taika Waititi's 4.
Oh!
He's got these...
I love that.
The funny thing about the Marvel heroes is, like, the DC ones, it's like, Batman's like, I don't kill, Superman's like, I try not to kill, but then the Marvel ones are just like, yeah, just kill everyone.
Oh, it just missed and hit every other person wrong, and it just left all the hostiles, and he was like, good shot.
That's the thing, you've really got to trust yourself in your building abilities.
Yeah.
Jarvis is like, I'm sorry, sir, I thought you meant them.
Good job, sir. Targets eliminated.
Oh, this bit.
Oh, that was Winter Soldier-esque, wasn't it, for the most recent one?
I hate to think what they did to him.
Oh, that's that voice as well. It's all yours.
Who would win in the fight, Iron Man or Batman? That was okay. That's a ridiculous shot. How did that tank hit him out of the sky?
Who would win in a fight? I think Iron Man would win because he would just go to and shoot him. Because
they're very similar characters.
And Batman's just got like a little grapple and some like essential oils, and like he's thrown it and like trying to hook his leg or something.
I guess it's a bad comparison because Batman was never created as a superhero. He was a detective.
Yeah,
that's just...
and he wouldn't be. Like I said, like if he had weapons, he doesn't even use weapons really, does he? Like actual like projectiles. Like he would just like float in the air and shoot him with missiles.
That was the cool guy walks back from explosion, doesn't look at it shot.
Yeah,
the first of many. And I like how
What is
it's not just like he just turns up and it's like, yeah, it's fine. They're like, we got this guy like in our airspace, well, we've got to just destroy him.
Destroy it. Master destroyers. Told you. Oh. No. Come on, get your guitar out. You can play that riff, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's tiny.
We got a bogey. It is funny how, like, in this, it starts off, the suit is like, it's still like crazy how he built it, but in the last one it's like nanotechnology and you can just like make an axe, and it's just like, I guess they kind of had to, because this Iron Man couldn't fight like the villains in the last films. You got to upgrade him a lot.
No.
Here we go, bogey. We got a bogey over here.
Stay on this tail. Is that a dogfight in the air? This is Red Leader going in.
What would you say you prefer? Do you prefer I can't remember if I asked you this question already. The high stakes ones at the end, or these small minimal ones? As in, like, if you had to choose to watch.
That, yeah, at the beginning.
I think I worded it differently. I can't remember what I said.
You said about the ones, yeah, which like.
And I think I said is it good they started like this? It was something like that. But I do have I haven't asked you the question I'm trying to say, but I can't think how to word it without it sounding the same.
Yeah.
So this is my favourite Marvel film out of all of them. Iron Man 1. I still like the later ones because they're like, I don't know, it's not like I prefer gritty, realistic things. I think I just feel like it's just a much more like compact story. It's very like, you know, I don't know, it's just, I'm not wording this very well. It's just
yeah, no, it's fine. I understand what you're saying as well.
I think it's because of the time as well, how it came out in 2008. Nothing like this had been done before. It's kicked off this whole thing, and it's just so like cool.
There's like current affairs as well, especially in the Middle East as well. Like it felt quite grounded and real, especially the first opening act as well. That was compared to like when you get Thor, you get more mythical. And I do understand. That's what I say, but that's why I like the first Captain America, because a lot of it is like a war film, isn't it? Really, it's just like World War II, and it's Howling Squad or whatever. It's them dealing with the Germans.
I think it's also the fact
I know what you're saying as well, and then the future.
I think it's also the fact that this is just so like, it was just such a huge risk, and if it just went wrong, none of it would have happened, and it's just such a feat in filmmaking that this film is as good as it is. And a huge credit to Marvel for taking the risk they did, and it's just like, you can tell that a lot of like blood, sweat and tears went into making this film, and a lot of jobs are on the line on it being successful.
It is good. Secondary shoot. Secondary, come on.
Whiplash. Foreshadowing.
There you go. Whiplash, yeah, Whiplash 2, and it's the second Iron Man as well. I see what you did there. See, that's what I mean. See, that's what people, you know, who'd already watched comics and that, they would have heard that and been like, oh, God, is Whiplash going to be in this? Or which Whiplash come in?
I think you're grasping at straws there, Jack.
Oh, I reckon that's the thing they would throw in their little Easter egg.
I think it's just the code name of the plane. I was making a joke. I thought you were joking as well.
I genuinely thought that. No, I genuinely think that. Because that's like one of his biggest villains is Whiplash.
Is that a threat to Master Jedi? That looks like really bad CGI in then. Did you see that? It looks a bit dodgy.
Yeah. There is some bits. There's a bit with the pilot as well. You know, when the pilot was like talking, the CGI in the background, dreadful. It was obviously a green screen, but.
God, look at that house. Look at Obadiah's pad.
Mine.
That silk dressing gown.
Look at that. Oh.
So even when I watched this as a kid, I at no point did I ever think he was going to be the villain. I thought he was just jealous. He's just jelly.
You're not a jealous man. He's just jelly. You probably were like that.
Yeah.
You look at the screen like that, you were like, weren't you?
Whatever, loser.
Please try not just snaps his spine.
Yeah, I know, look how much trust you have to put in your machine so they don't just twist your arm off.
C.
This is the part when you realise he's evil, when he turns up with all the the villains, but...
Yeah, and he puts that little... He puts his little secrets in the ears, doesn't he? And they're like, oh.
I'm the dude, man. This is just an alternate universe where the dude never got his rug cleaned.
He's in Tron as well, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so Obadiah hired them to capture Tony Stark?
Yeah.
Have I only just found that out?
Told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is what I mean by you rewatch stuff like this. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen it, you'll find out new little things.
Tony Stark built this in a cave. I'm trying to remember when that line is.
I still like the Whiplash suit. And he was literally in it for like 5 minutes at the end and just Whiplash both of them. And they're like, should we just kill him? And it's just sort of great.
Oh, yeah.
He was more productive out of the suit in the Formula One race. He's like... he's like getting into it.
Definitely have to do Iron Man 2 then for you.
Oh, yeah. But we do them all.
Hmm.
We'll do them all. We'll do it live. Honey.
See, I wonder what this does.
It's obviously something that's like scrambles with the cognitive like ability, does something with your hearing, and it just.
It's almost like Scarlet Witch's powers.
It is.
Even this bit's really darker. Jeez. Have you ever seen those like how much it would cost to buy like that suit? You can buy it. I don't know if it's like, I think it's like...
No, people make customised like helmets and like cosplay the things.
You have to, obviously it's not like you can buy it from Marvel.com, but you got to go through like a private person. But I just like...
Yeah, engineers make it and stuff.
What would you do with it? Like, you can't just wear it.
When I went to the London Film and Comic Con, there was one guy which had it where he had the helmet, which was like, and he'd press it and he'd go, and it would come up and down, and the rest of the suit like looked all right. It still was obviously, you spent tons of time on it, but the helmet was so cool. It went and like jolted up and down, and it had all lights and it all glowed up.
Just rips his face off one day. Just like
ah. Yeah, it's just no skin. He's just still there. Like, you want a picture?
Just a skeleton. So she really does care about him. I always wondered how he gets that bit on his beard, because it's like they're not connected. It's like the goatee, then the moustache, but he has like a weird like slice
Yeah, he sort of shaves it.
Yeah. How much time do you reckon he spends in the mirror getting that done? Because he seems like the kind of guy who's like, oh, that's a waste of time. Unless his robot just goes like. Zzz.
I'd like to have that. I still can't. These bits are just connected now, but I still haven't got hair up here.
He doesn't either.
Shall I do it then? Shall I do the Tony Stark look for the channel?
Yeah.
Should we make a suit?
Yeah. You have to trim it a bit here. You can't look like you've converted. Oh, this bit is. I remember watching it as a kid and being so tense. It's like I said, like the stakes are so low in this film compared to the later ones.
That green screen. Why couldn't they just got an office building to do that in?
Might
The
be
actual
good enough.
Packfoot job.
Yeah, so like the stakes are so low in this film compared to like Endgame. Yeah, I feel more tension when she's trying to get the USB out of the computer without him noticing than I do in like the later films when there's massive stuff going on.
I know what you're saying, like when it's like galaxy-wise, but if you do think about it, like as you said, if this didn't work, there'd be no Iron Man. Starting this would just be commercialised, and none of the Avengers wouldn't really exist properly. They wouldn't have the technology. In the end, they wouldn't be like. It is quite important, and I think out of all the Avengers, obviously a lot of them play a huge part. But Iron Man, especially at the end, how he does that, he's one of the key people.
I like that the computer just type in translate and it does it. Like this, that's just how like tense it is. I reckon Jeff Bridges could have made a good Thanos.
Yeah, he would have.
He's quite similar to
Just leave him like that and just paint him purple.
Although Josh Brolin is
He's very good.
very, very good. God, I'm nervous now. Even just I don't know what happens, but I'm nervous now just watching her trying to sneak it out. You would be like, that's not what you're doing. So which one do you think is the real Tony Stark? The guy who likes messing around, money and cars? Or is it this one who's like, I want to change the world?
It's both, isn't it? You can be two different things, I think, or develop as a character. I think for the comics, I think a lot of it was pushed where he mixed both of those lives quite a lot. And in this, we just saw a little bit of it, didn't we? And then it's over. Like, he's not like that anymore. I think even in like the second one, he's not like that anymore. He's with Pepper. So I think we see Tony in the MCU as sort of genius, sort of like, I don't think you would necessarily see him as a like playboy philanthropist sort of character. I think in the comic books you would, because it would obviously be dragged out, wouldn't it? There'd probably be a whole issue of him like at the Playboy Mansion. Oh dear, no.
Oh god, it's still so. Is Jeff Bridges really short, or is she just really tall?
I don't know. I'm a 5'10" Chad, so anyone over 5'10" and above, I've got more respect.
There we go. Now it's boom. That's Jeff Bridges then, used to his long hair.
Run. Run.
Oh, see the tension, isn't it? Yeah, I can see on your face. You're like more tense watching this bit than you would be like a big green space monster attacking the Earth.
Yeah, I remember this bit. He's like, "He did it in a cave."
Perfect.
Look at his face. Hit him with that 1-2. You can tell he's going to get that dirty clinch, start kneeing.
There you go, best line in the MCU.
Yeah.
That's the best line.
I'm not Tony Stark.
Because you've never seen it. He's always been like calm.
Epic Frodo was able to build this channel in London with
In his room.
with no internet. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not Epic Frodo.
Oh no. It's cool because that's the first.
Got him.
That's
Got him.
Oh, the Vader effect is just. Oh. That's the first time you see him lose his cool as well, and it's just so intimidating. Those kind of villains are always the best. Like Thanos, like you never see him like shout unless it's like very rare.
Okay. What's his face?
See, how come I've never realised when I watched it when I was younger, I didn't really pay attention to the dialogue then, that it was actually Obadiah Stane that got the terrorists to kidnap him.
Yeah.
I always just assumed it was just something that happened.
Yeah, I knew that.
And that he wanted him dead now.
Obviously, yeah, but you said you watched when you were younger.
Longer.
Yeah, when you were younger. You were probably just there eating popcorn like that, like looking at the screen, weren't you, waiting for the explosions like I underestimate how young you were when you watched this.
I was 11, yeah. Just 11. I always thought he wanted to kill him because he wanted to stop doing weapons productions. Because it was like their most profitable business.
It is partly that as well. You weren't wrong.
But if it was before that, he just wanted him out of the picture, and he just wanted to. He just.
I think that he realised that as well, though. I think that he realised because they were like double and cross-selling their weapons to different like nations and armies. I don't think he realised if he would have found out, he wouldn't have liked that either.
I think he was just running the business, and he felt like he was just running it into the ground by not caring. I wonder how much Robert Downey Jr. got paid for this one, and compare it to Endgame. I think he got like $70 million for Endgame, or something crazy.
Yeah.
Or 140, something like that.
Well, that's like Harrison Ford. I think Harrison Ford's even like script delivery is like he only does a film with like 50 million plus he gets at this stage.
I guess so, yeah.
We are here with Ish Harrison Ford.
Well, he did that film. I wonder how much he got paid to do that. Because that's not real. That's obviously fake, that bit.
They would have paid him
a
good amount of money, I reckon.
Well, Tom Hanks was in the new one as well, at the end. Shaking hands with him.
Oh,
See, look at that. He's driving on his phone. That wouldn't happen in the Marvel film these days.
I really like War Machine. I like War Machine more than Iron Man. I don't know why. I just love the suit so much. Yeah, I think it's the Mark II version of that one. I think in the third one, where he's massively bulked out. Reminds me of me.
The thing is, I could imagine Terrence Howard as War Machine. Like,
he would be. Yeah, something went on where he either had another project, or there was obviously a dispute in pay.
Yeah,
simple as that.
It's probably most
I
likely
want to get to the bottom of it.
It's most likely to do with money, I'm going to guess.
Or another project, and he didn't see this going anywhere, which happens a lot, and it backfires on actors.
I'm gonna I'll give a shout out quickly if anyone knows why Terrence Howard left. Please tell us. Let me make sure his name is
I thought you
Terrence
were
Howard.
going to give a shout out. I thought you were going to be like, shout out Terrence Howard. No, man.
Yeah, his name is Terrence Howard. I've been getting it right. It's good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Good boy.
See, I like how I didn't make his one massive.
Yeah.
This film has moved pretty quick, hasn't it? Like, we're at the end. This is Act 3.
It has, yeah.
But again, it is just, at the time, obviously it would have been good, but he is just fighting a big version of himself. Which is the issue that Marvel have with all their villains, most of their villains.
And it's not really as advanced. You think about it, it's still like partly that same armor. Tony's perfected his a lot better.
But they're still both very
Just
rough.
bigger.
Like, even the Iron Man suit's still very rough compared to what it later becomes. I guess it is a good metaphor for the whole film series as a whole. Like, it's still very discovering itself, and that's what the fight is between two prototype weapons fighting each other.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna in the reviews now, I'm gonna do a section called MVP, where you vote for the most valuable person of the film. That makes sense. So it could either be like an actor, a writer, a director, or a producer. So think about that, and then at the end, tell me who your MVP of the film is.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, see that shot then?
Oh, that's a nice little shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Tell them they get your cinematography there. It's like, let me just put one creative shot in there, like one. Yeah, one shot.
Look how casual the SHIELD agents are. See, all these guys are Hydra then. Some of those, maybe.
Well,
there were some.
They were, yeah. Hydra was implanted in SHIELD, so yeah, some of the ranks, some of the members.
Some of them could be Hydra.
Was that how Hydra when they do the two fists?
Yeah. I want one now.
Oh.
That car probably cost $50 million.
Damn.
Oh. They're teasing
See, it's set. Oh, why did I do that to him? I want answers in the comments.
Because if you're a comic book fan, you know that Rhodes turns into War Machine.
Yeah.
But obviously, we didn't know that, so we would have been like, "Oh, is he going to do it?" But if, like I said, back to my previous question, if you're a comic book fan, does it kind of lose that impact on you if you already know who these characters are?
Yeah, I think it will a little bit, but more actually might bring incitement, especially if you're a really established like fan of the comic books. He was.
I like how I think that's the suit.
Oh, it is bigger.
Kind of reminds me. The scene kind of reminds me of Rugrats in Paris when they're in the rides at the end, having the fight in the two rides. Do you remember that bit?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Reptar. I am Reptar.
It's changed. It's like from Alien.
It is. It's like Alien, this bit, isn't it?
You expect to see the cat like. I don't know what noise that was. That was not a cat noise.
Or
Oh, it is literally, isn't it? Look. Check him out. Look at that.
jeez. I don't even know when Paul Bettany and Robert Downey Jr. even met for the first time.
That's a good point then. You see, he said about his suit. He does have a weaker suit, but he was already at a disadvantage because of the reactor being the first Mark 1 version.
The chest piece doesn't fit that suit, does it? It can't, it's not enough to power it.
No.
How does he think he's going to get away with this though? Like if he wins, it's like well, you're going to jail. You just killed Tony Stark in a big Iron Man suit.
Oh.
And it's also at night as well, this fight, so you can't really see that much going on.
Does help, doesn't it? It masks some of the CGI as well.
He looks good though for 2008.
It does. He's had enough, hasn't he?
Yeah. I love this suit. It's just like, how does he think he's not gonna get away with this? Like even if he won, he's gonna go to jail because he's gonna kill a family in a car.
Yeah. You think someone can cover it up? I don't know.
How many people do you reckon were like scouring that car, saying like that kid on the left, on the kid on the right is actually Doctor Strange?
That's Whiplash Mark III, that car. Oh, benching it. Oh, see that jump.
I wonder if this film even would have come out if Batman.
And the thing which is,
go on, say it.
well, the thing which is a bit annoying is Obadiah's just got in that suit.
Yeah, he knows what to do.
He wouldn't be used to using it whatsoever. Like it took Tony a while.
Yes, I wonder if this film, if like, how much this film owes to Batman Begins, because that's the one that kind of revived superhero films.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 had come out by 2008, and X-Men 3 had also come out by 2008, and they weren't that good compared to the other one. So I wonder if like
no, Spider-Man 3 wasn't, definitely not.
Like they could. Like, it's a huge risk they took. Like I don't even remember superhero films being that popular back in 2008.
Yeah. He made some upgrades. Of 10 seconds ago, there's a bit of plot armor here. They were like, I can't even make this suit, can't do this, blah, blah, blah. We couldn't do any of these adjustments. And he's like, I've got all the adjustments now. It's sort of...
He's got some plot armor. He's got some literal armor as well. Literal plot armor. Oh, so remember we were saying at the start, why would you fly up into the air and like almost kill yourself in your first attempt? Obviously, it's a stupid thing to do if you're Tony Stark, but it's now done so as a way to defeat him in this scene.
That's not with any of these. Even a lot of films do that. They show you a bit at the beginning, don't they? And then they're always going to go back to it later on. I was just doing the actual practicality-wise of it. It made no original sense. Normally, it would set up good if they did do that and it plays later on, but...
Well, I forgot about that. It's like
he's pushing up as well.
Chekhov's gun or Tony Stark's flight into space. You know, don't include it if it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So yeah, good story writing. Bad observations by us.
Yeah.
Those shots in the helmet are really cool because you can follow him when he's flying them.
Yeah.
It's not like in like a Man of Steel when Superman flies off and it's like a supersonic jet and you just can't be with him. So the first Iron Man, the first Marvel film, the end fight is on a roof of a building. The end fight in Endgame is millions of people charging each other on a world with tons and tons of CGI and green screen. It just goes to show like that moment was very deserved. It was earned.
Yeah, that whole setup.
But another reason why I love this one as well is so good looking at its humble beginnings. Just how far it's come.
Yeah. Oh. do it, Potts. End our life and bind ourselves. The power force of Ironmonger and Iron Man.
Let me die. That's when he's dangling off the
Let
thing.
me die. Oh yeah, I remember that bit. Oh.
It is almost beast-like, isn't it? The way he moves in the Ironmonger thing.
Beast. Yeah, it is.
It's almost like the Hulk. Like, I wonder if he learned how to defeat the Hulk from fighting Ironmonger.
It's like Hulkbuster. Yeah, it might, maybe. Oh, that's cool.
It does look good, actually. Something that could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
You know Iron Man's losing in the fight when he doesn't have his helmet on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just headshotted him.
Stones him.
Let me die. This is like the end of Modern Warfare 3.
Up on the roof bit, and then you hang thingy. It's ironic.
That is a good point.
Oh. Oh, he's missing by a lot.
He did get rid of his targeting system, but yeah, you just point at him.
Just sort of aim it a little bit towards him. That was nowhere near.
The world's most powerful donut.
Oh.
So there you go, everyone. Get used to that. That's the first
Here comes Thor.
It's the first big blue laser in the sky, which happens in many, many superhero films. Oh. I understand that, like, the villains have to be defeated, and
You reckon he's alright?
I'm okay. Yeah, I understand that some villains, like, have to be dead, but it would have been cool if he came back at some point or something. Like if he was like a Lex Luthor kind of
I know
character,
what you mean.
like locked in prison or something.
Frazzled there.
Come on, no.
No, I bet you were there like when you were 11, like screaming, "Come back!"
Well, that's like the thing. No one cared about Iron Man before this film, but then as soon as this film came out,
Yeah, he made it.
He was,
Tony's.
yeah, he is like incredible, and the credits.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
He was perfect for this role. I can't think of anyone else. Like, obviously, like Chris Evans, like brilliant as Captain America. You can't really think of anyone else to think, but he is definitely Iron Man.
But do you know who they wanted instead of RDJ? So there's two people in the running. There's Sam Rockwell, who's the villain in number 2, and Tom Cruise. They wanted Tom Cruise as Tony Stark.
Really? Yeah. For a second, when you said the villain in number 2, because I know he owns the company, but it's. I thought you meant Mickey Rourke.
No.
I thought you were getting him confused with that. Imagine Mickey Rourke. I want my boy.
Tom Cruise as Iron Man, though, would be pretty fun. If they think he might come and actually do it, because in the Doctor Strange, the multiverse, they think they might go into a multiverse where there is a Tony Stark, but it's Tom Cruise.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. It's just all one
Same how
film.
there's Peter Parker, but it's Tobey Maguire. Because I remember watching this and being like, who is this guy?
Oh, there you go.
And I was
Just
just
called
like,
a shield.
And I was like, what is S.H.I.E.L.D.? I'd never even heard of S.H.I.E.L.D. The only character I actually knew was Nick Fury, because I had hit top trump cards of Marvel characters, and Nick Fury is one of them. So I was like, oh, I know Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He has 55 attack.
He is a big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to have a kiss at the end. I predict.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh, I knew the kiss was coming.
I used to hate this though when I was young. Like, oh.
I know you'd be like.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
I was like, oh, don't do it. It's too cringy for me. Oh, they don't. This is such a good ending. It's such a good way to tease it up for the next one. God, this woman's so annoying. I bet Tony's just like, can you just leave me alone, please? I like how the term superhero exists in this universe. Like,
I know.
I guess it all stems from Captain America, because everyone knows who Captain America is at this point.
Yeah.
But he's more of like a legend than a person.
He's a legend.
Oh, get ready for the cut into the Black Sabbath song. I like how she's still sitting down though.
Iron Man.
So I never saw the post-credit scene until like a few years later. For some reason, I always keep thinking it's the when I think of the post-credit scene for this thing. For some reason, I always think it's Nick Fury going into X-Men First Class when they're trying to recruit mutants and they go into the pub and Wolverine's in there.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep mistaking Wolverine for Tony Stark. He's in a pub, and Nick Fury walks into the bar. But that's not it at all. I think he's in his house. Oh, music by Ramin Djawadi, who did Game of Thrones.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
How the mighty have fallen.
His music's still good in that. I didn't know he did the music for this.
Down. Is he alive all time?
So there's only 4 big names in this film. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
Massive.
Yeah. So I want to, for the commentary listeners, we are going to get into the review, but I don't want to start talking and then this thing happens. Is this the cutscene? No, I think should we just skip to the cutscene, then we can talk.
Yeah.
Sorry, commentary listeners. Okay, so you want to be at
2 minutes.
So go to 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 9 seconds, and 10 seconds.
And 10 seconds, yeah.
I can cut this bit out.
Give me a sec. I'll
Yeah. So 2:05:11.
I'll pause it on 10 seconds. 11, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, 11.
Alright, I'm on 11.
So for the commentary listeners, we just skipped right to the end of the post-credit scene, so that way we can talk after. So if you're on 2:05:11 and want to watch this 30-second clip, press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
But I don't think post-credit scenes were a thing. I remember Pirates of the Caribbean did one.
Yeah.
And now it's like every film has to have a post-credit scene. A lot of people seem to forget Samuel Jackson's been in it since day one.
Yeah.
So I knew who Nick Fury was growing up. But I didn't know what the Avengers were.
See, so did that come out at number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's been in the film the whole time.
see, because that's what I mean. I don't remember. Yeah, I know, because I think a lot of people miss that, and
Yeah.
obviously 2 happened, and then 3, and then but that time Thor 1 had happened. Like, do you know what I mean? It always was happening, and they set up Avengers, so they had that in the pipelines for
Yeah.
ages.
Well, this was like a trial. They obviously wanted to do that at some point, but because like I said, post credits weren't a thing back then, so people would have just left the cinema as soon as the credits were rolling. No one would have seen that until people were saying like, "Did you stay to the end?" Because like I didn't see that until like a few years. I think I went on YouTube like 2 years later and just found it, and was like, "Oh, I didn't know this." And then you discover that. So yeah, they clearly were building it. So like comic book
Very
fans,
cool.
if you know what the Avengers were you excited? Because like I would have been like, "What's the Avengers?"
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
so Iron Man,
we're
Jack.
done. First one.
Iron Man 1, the first MCU film. What do you think of it after all these years of not seeing it, and compared to how things are now? What's your thoughts?
I think it's quite refreshing, to be honest. It's given me vibes of, obviously, like the new Marvel series. They've got action in them, but they're not over the top action. Sort of what I think it's the 4th phase, isn't it, or the 3rd phase, or whatever it was, because it had the 1st and the 2nd phase, wasn't it? And
Guardians of the Galaxy
the
people.
later
and all that.
phases.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of, it feels almost standalone from the Marvel films we're used to at the end. It's sort of a nice little character-driven story that sets it up nicely, and it's really refreshing to watch, really, because it doesn't. I know it sounds weird. It doesn't feel like a Marvel film because of the way the Marvel narrative's gone. It sort of just stands like a good little like story about this billionaire guy that's finally realised that he doesn't want to live this playboy life anymore, and also sell weapons like this. He wants to. Not necessarily this one settle down. I think he more wants to settle down in the 2nd one and the 3rd one.
We're just getting started.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. What was your first point again? Because I didn't want to interrupt you. What was it you said? Just it's just because you said it's like a standalone film, and you didn't think.
Yeah.
That's why I thought when I was younger, and then Captain America came out and 4 came out, and it wasn't until like I think it was when 4 came out I started to realise that this is all connected, because back then we weren't used to cinematic universes. We were used to just like an X-Men film, and then there's a Fantastic Four film. Like we knew they were Marvel, but I thought it was the same. I thought it was just an Iron Man film, and I think it was maybe strategically kind of designed that way, so that way if it went horribly wrong, it wasn't going to be, they weren't going to face the humiliation of people being like that
They could
monster.
recover a bit, yeah.
That Universal Monsters universe thing, where it's like, oh, you guys got egg on your face because you had this plan for a whole universe, but the first one's completely failed.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah,
I agree 100%.
it's still my favourite one. I think that one, just because of how.
That's still your favourite.
I think so. Yeah, I just like how. Well, I said what I said about it in the film, basically, just how grounded and when I say grounded, I don't mean realistic like Batman, the Nolan Batman films. I mean grounded in the sense that it was just like some people taking a risk with a smaller budget than what they were used to, putting out this thing, and it's just come out incredible, and it's kicked off this entire like religion, essentially, this empire.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And
Is it your empire? It is.
And Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man can't be.
He's that's what you said, the MVP, but he's the MVP of this film.
So your MVP, we'll do that at the end. I'll do that like as a proper segment. Okay. So yeah, like you can't be replaced. Like I hope they really don't do like a Iron Man, like they're doing with Captain America. They're making a new Captain America. I really hope they don't do like a new Iron Man character, because you just can't.
Yeah.
You just cannot replace him at all.
No.
As a film though, like as a story, do you think it's good?
I think it is good. It's got the plot's quite good. The double crossing is quite, as you said, you didn't even realise. It hides that quite well, but after watching again, you can tell. You know, you said when you were a kid that Obadiah wasn't bad. You didn't think he was bad. You could sort of instantly tell. I think there's quite a few clues there. It is actually a good story, I think. I really do. I think the way it's structured like that, and it's sort of, you can sort of relate to Tony, not in the way of like being a billionaire, but like he sort of has that experience. Like if anyone's had a horrible experience, and he sort of like wants to realise what his life is now. Like he's living so clouded with. This is obviously censored, but I imagine it's drugs as well. Drugs, and he's probably got like an alcohol problem. Pretty sure in the comic books it's like that. And then he realises he's got to sort of change his life a little bit, and he becomes a superhero at the end. But the plot's good as well. The way he escapes. There's
quick.
not other films like that, yeah, and
It really
it's
didn't
quite
bounce.
bold.
And it just cut from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3. It didn't feel long. Like that went really quick. It was almost 2 hours. But
It did go really quick.
I think it's lucky in the sense that it's the first one, because we said it does suffer from the tropes of he fights another Iron Man. The corporate bad guy is the corporate good guy is the bad guy. I feel like if this was like during Phase 2, this kind of similar storyline, I don't think it would be as good, because everyone would be like, we've seen this storyline done before. So I think it is lucky and it's the first one, but then they probably saw this and thought, oh, this is a winning formula, let's do this for quite a few others.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show how great it is and how influential it's been on the other ones. But yeah, so we'll start off, Jack. Who was your MVP of Iron Man?
I think it's got to be Robert Downey Jr. It's just the character is one of those characters where you can have Batman. If you look at Batman, you've got classic ones, and I still think Bale's the best Batman, but you have characters that just stand out, and when you refer to it, everyone knows Iron Man as Robert Downey Jr. As you said, it would be sacrilege if they even try and replace him. He just embodies that role so well. Even in the opening scene when he's joking around in the truck, I don't think I've ever rewatching that. It sort of sparks joy seeing it, because it's just like he is that character within the first 10 seconds like that. He's already embodying that character so well.
Without him,
but yeah, it's got to be Robert.
I'm gonna go for Jon Favreau, because he obviously is the director, but it's almost like this is his vision of. I know it wasn't just him on his own. There was obviously Kevin Feige. There's Kevin Feige, and then there was one other guy whose name I can't remember, who came up with the idea back in like 2003 or something like that. But it was Jon Favreau who was given almost like the biggest risk to do this, and he created this masterpiece essentially. And without him being at the reins of this project, the entire MCU just wouldn't have happened. It's kind of a joint effort. Him and Kevin Feige are definitely the MVPs of this one. As the film, you could say that for every single one, but as it goes on, it's obviously going to be different people. But I think Jon Favreau did a great job at directing this film and creating the world for all of us and establishing it and convincingly wanting you to have a universe of it. So yeah, congratulations, John and Robert. You are our MVPs of Iron Man. Your award will be in the post.
It'll come through soon.
As a review, a number. You don't mind not scratching, whatever you're doing.
You hear that?
Yeah.
This scene. It does pick up quite a lot.
It does. That's a good mic. What's your number? What's your score?
My number is going to be 77.
77 for Iron Man 1 from Jack, and from me, I'm going to give it an 84. I love it. It's the best Marvel movie.
Love it.
Which means if one of them gets a higher score than that, I'll be a bit of a hypocrite. But other than that,
I think I'm going to be given higher scores. Definitely.
There you go. There's a little tease for all of you. Find out which one's Jack's favourite Marvel film. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, that was fun, and we'll definitely do. What's the next one? Captain America.
Oh yes.
So we'll be back.
That's the spoiler for getting rated higher. Hopefully, I might rewatch it. I've watched that the most. I think I've watched that 3 times before.
Wow.
I still can't remember most. It's so weird with these Marvel films. I still can't remember a lot of it, but that's just got the best moments for me out of some of the films.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Me and Jack will be back with Captain America. Not sure when we'll do it. We're hoping to do one every month, maybe. But yeah, so we'll be done in 3 years.
Yep.
Goodbye.
It will basically be like that.
I know. Goodbye, everyone. Cheerio.